From the News Channel 5 Network, this is SportsLine.
All right, everybody, good evening to you, and welcome to SportsLine. John Burton here, the Wednesday extravaganza. Happy to be here, and I hope you're enjoying this warm summer evening here in Middle Tennessee. We are going to be talking Titans training camp. Yes, just 2 days away from the team's reporting. First practice will be Saturday afternoon, 2:30. That'll be open to the public. The following practice, the following day, also 2:30 to 4:30, also open to the public. And we're going to get to an entire hour of Titans talk, and who better to do it than the venerable voice of the Tennessee Titans, the best play-by-play man in all of the NFL. You know him, you love him. He's here with us, Mike Keith. Good evening, sir.
Wow, thank you.
How about that?
That's very nice.
I'm just so happy
like
that
I
you're
wrote
here.
It down. It's so good.
Yeah.
I
missed a couple of words
just
there.
A little, but I'll let you.
Man, it is great to have you here. It's great to see you. How's your summer been?
It's been good. It's been fast, and now it's over, and let's play football.
Yeah.
I think that's what everybody's excited about, is everybody is just ready to see football. I love baseball.
Sure.
I like all kinds of other sports. I love summer, but I'm ready for football.
You know, there is that designated kind of dead period right after the NBA Finals and the NHL Stanley Cup Final. Usually there's about a 5 to 6 week lull, depending, and then, you know, after the first 3 weeks are pretty cool because you can relax a little bit, you take a little vacation, right? I'm sure you had some time to take a vacation with your wonderful family, and then you start itching for football, don't you?
You do, and this team in particular has you interested because the offseason has been so interesting, and you're really going to be fascinated to see what this ball club looks like with Mike Mularkey and this staff that he's put together. Marcus Mariota in year 2.
Yep. 2
tailbacks of note.
Yes.
And a defense that came on last year but can get even better, and everything that John Robinson has done, and you wonder what he might have up his sleeve moving through August. And remember, the Titans have the #1 waiver claim position until the final Monday in September, so they have a window where they can grab guys. There's just going to be a lot of intrigue all the way around for the next few weeks.
Mike Keith is going to be with us throughout the hour, taking your phone calls as well, 737-7767. I know you have Titans questions. Now's the time to get him in. This is the man that can answer your questions. We're going to be talking all about Marcus Mariota, Derrick Henry, DeMarco Murray, you name it. We're going to be talking Titans for the next hour. And, again, you know, you talked about the offseason. Very interesting offseason. They make the decision to keep Mike Mularkey as head coach. They bring in John Robinson as the GM, a guy that knows how the sausage is made in New England, spent 12 years there as a scout, won Bill Belichick's respect, was able to sit in the war room during draft day with Bill Belichick, and that is a major, major feat. Not everybody gets to do that. For years, Mike, and you know, we've done the Sunday night shows with our buddy Neil O'Donnell, and he would say it every week, JB, where's the identity? What's the identity of this football team, JB? I think now we're starting to get an idea with John Robinson coming in, already saying, listen, we want to be physical on both sides of the ball.
Right.
We want to run the football. We want to play good, punishing defense. We want to get after the quarterback. When you have an identity of a football team, that's a basis to start. I mean, first of all, you already have your franchise quarterback in Marcus Mariota, which is great. A lot of teams don't have that luxury. But now you have somebody in John Robinson that is trying to establish an identity for the Tennessee Titans. Probably haven't seen that kind of identity since, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s.
Well, the Jeff Fisher identity, which is Eddie George and a defense that's going to attack. And those were the things up front. The teams that Neil was a part of, that's what you were going to get every single week. The Titans worked at that identity. They didn't come out and change scheme every week or week to week. They said, this is what we do. This is how we're going to play. You know what you're going to get, but we're good at what we do. We worry about us. These last few Titans teams have been all over the road.
Yeah.
They've been unable to get anything established. They have no consistency. They don't have the identity that Neil talks about. So in those tough moments, they can say, you know, when it's not going well, this is what
we can revert back to this.
This is what we're going to do, and we're going to weather the storm and get through tough times. They knew how to win. And that's what I think Mike Mularkey started talking about it in December. I asked him a question, John, we were visiting, and I said, if you become the head coach full-time, what's the first thing you have to do? He said, we have to get a feature back. He said, I believe you have to have a feature back. And so John Robinson goes and gets him DeMarco Murray on March the 7th, and we were all like, did this just happen?
Yeah.
But
that was my reaction.
Yeah, I thought at first when I got the call, I'm like, come on. and it did so much for the fan base, too, because the Titans fans went, DeMarco Murray is serious. And you get back in the national headlines and you become part of the conversation. But the most important thing is you can see the vision.
Yeah.
DeMarco Murray is not an east-west back. He is a north-south back.
One cut and go.
You're going to help Marcus Mariota with this. You're going to help the offensive line with this. And then you draft Derrick Henry. And at first, when you draft Derrick Henry, you go, did they just draft Derrick Henry? And then you realize he is a great compliment, because if something happens to DeMarco Murray, if DeMarco Murray tires, now you have a second type one cut and go feature back. And so that's starting to add to the identity. Defensively, the identity started with the fact that in keeping Coach Mularkey, you could keep Coach LeBeau.
Right.
And that was huge. The ability of Mike Mularkey to build a staff was a big reason Amy Adams-Strunk wanted to keep him. Because he has great relationships. They knew Coach LeBeau would stay. And they wanted to see more of that defense, which went from 31st in the league in 2014 to 12th last year.
And they were top 10 for probably about 3/4 of the year, right?
And honestly, they lose Derek Morgan, and that hurt. But the other thing, too, is their offense down the stretch just crushed them because they're out on the field forever.
Right.
And so, they dropped out. And, the secondary didn't have a great year. McCourty being hurt for the majority of the year was huge. If they get secondary play, I think we know what the front seven can do. If they get secondary play, they may be quite serious. All of a sudden, then, you've got an identity on offense, you've got an identity on defense, and Neil O'Donnell is happy.
And one of the things I know that Mrs. Strunk also said about keeping Mike Mularkey is that she likes his offense, and she likes the fact that he can design an offense, and maybe more particularly a running game that will protect Marcus Mariota, because let's face it, John Robinson and Mike Mularkey both told me this offseason, priority number one, we have to protect Marcus Mariota. Right. It's what we talked about at the beginning of the show. You have that luxury of having your franchise quarterback. Now you got to keep him upright and keep him healthy, hopefully for 16 games.
Well, the vision is, let's do what Mike Mularkey did in Atlanta with Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Let's have a Michael Turner type run game. Let's help the offensive line. Let's be able to work off play action. Let's take the receivers that we have, and that was before Julio Jones got there. Let's take what we have and build it up. And they had an identity in Atlanta. You had to stop Michael Turner first.
Right.
And they protected Matt Ryan, and he got better as it went. It took some of the pressure off of him.
Mariota year two. I mean, you factor everything. Obviously, he needs probably a few more weapons on the outside, but the fact that this guy won over the locker room in year one, became the unquestioned leader of this team in year one, the unquestioned face of this franchise in year one. He basically, other than win, he did everything the Titans wanted him to do. What do you see for him going into year two?
The thing they wanted him to do the first part of the offseason was get away.
Yeah.
He had played football for 18 straight months virtually. 15 games at Oregon, straight toward preparing for the combine workouts, visits, the draft, straight in for OTAs and minicamp, a little time off, and then right back in as the starting quarterback. He had gone essentially from August to the start, the August 14 to January 16, and they wanted him to get away, heal, rest.
Right. Get your mind off
Get your mind off of it. Yeah. Let your, if you want to go for a jog or you want to ride a bike, fine. But otherwise, be ready to go.
Don't surf. Don't ride a motorcycle.
Right. And that's why they didn't want him to play. He could have played the last couple games of the year, but they wanted him to go into the offseason healthy. That was the plan. And because he was able to do that, then he's had a really good offseason. He's gained weight. You can see how he carries himself. He's more comfortable in the offense. And you touched on it. He is clearly more comfortable as the face of the franchise, leading this team. He gets it. He's comfortable with Mularkey. He's comfortable with Terry Robisky, the offensive coordinator, and keeping Jason Michael near him as the quarterback coach was also a big factor for Marcus Mariota.
I agree with you. I think Jason Michael's one of the best young offensive coaches in the National Football League. We are just getting started. We have Mike Keith, the voice of the Tennessee Titans. Believe it or not, phone lines are already banked. We love it.
Are they?
We're going to get to all your – yeah, they are.
Seriously?
Yeah, look at that. See?
Like,
they're lit up.
Are your friends? Or
They're probably your friends.
Okay,
I don't have
maybe.
friends.
That's right.
We're going to come back, take your phone calls. Mike Keith is here the entire hour, and we are going to talk Titans football training camp. Just 2 days away from the players reporting, 3 days away from the first practice. Football's back, folks, and we're talking about it. Stay with us.